Chapter 1-4 is on associative property and using parentheses when you're evaluating. Associative property works for addition. For example, the group A plus B and then you add C is the same as A plus the group B plus C. Okay, so let's try that with numbers. A is 2, 2 plus 3, and C is 5. Is that the same as 2 plus group 3 plus 5? Alright, so let's try that. We're going to do the parentheses first. So 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 5. Is that the same as 2 plus 8? Okay, and if you notice, they are the same, so associative property. So even if you change the grouping and the order is the same, the answer is going to be the same. So 10 equals 10. Okay, it also works for multiplication. If you have group A times B times C, is that the same as A times group B times C? So let's try that with numbers. 2 times 3 times 5, is that the same as 2 times 3 times 5? Okay, we're going to excuse me. We're going to look at the grouping first. 2 times 3 here is 6. 3 times 5 here is 15. Okay, then 6 times 5, is that the same as 2 times 15? 6 times 5 is 30. 2 times 15 is 30. So multiplication works with associative property. Okay, on the part of your classwork, it's going to be calculate, which is to find what the answer is. Example 1 is parentheses 3 times 4, close parentheses squared. So you do what's inside the parentheses first. That's 12 squared, which is 12 times 12. And the answer for 12 times 12 is 144. Okay, example 2 is 3 times 4 squared. There are no parentheses, so we can do 3 times 4 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12, times 4 is 48. Okay, the next set on your classwork is evaluate. So that means you're going to have to plug in for a variable, plug in the number for the variable. So 3x, quantity 3x to the third power minus 2, and it says x is 2. So that's 3 times 2 to the third power minus 2. Okay, you do what's in parentheses first. So 3 times 2 is in parentheses. So that's 3 times 2 is 6 to the third power minus 2. 6 to the third is 6 times 6 times 6, which is 216 minus 2, and the answer is 214. Okay, example 4 is quantity 2 plus x times quantity y minus 1 for x equals 3, y equals 5. So that's 2 plus 3 times 5 minus 1. So you do the parentheses. 2 plus 3 is 5, times 5 minus 1 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So that's the answer for example 4. Okay, example 5 and 6 are use associative property to write an equivalent expression. So basically we're going to keep the same order and change the grouping. So the order stays the same and only the grouping changes. So in the example 5, it's around z plus 3. Now it's around y plus z. On example 6, the order stays the same, and the only thing that changes is the grouping.